Hey guys, I thought I would do a quick video for you today to show you what I commonly keep stocked in my fridge and in my pantry. One of the most common questions I get, being that I eat a vegan diet, is where do you get your protein? And, really just what do you eat in general? So I thought this might be helpful for some of you that are looking to either transition to a more vegetarian diet or just really looking to, clean up your kitchen. One of the best practices I can share is just don't bring the junk in the house because then you won't eat it. That's why I think we all kind of struggle through Christmas time is there's so much chocolate and baked goods and all those things finding their way into our homes that we normally wouldn't have, so we end up eating them. So I think maybe you'll find this helpful today if you're looking to try some new things, or if you're just wondering how to thrive on a vegetarian or a vegan diet. So I'm happy to take you on a little tour of what I like to keep stocked. And if you do live in the London area, one of the services I do provide is to do a kitchen cleanup. So take a look at the services tab on my blog for more information on that. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, so here we go. I'm going to use my iPhone just so I can easily show you the products as we go, but hopefully it won't be too shaky. So here's my pantry. I love having a pantry here in the new house. As you can see, I keep a lot of bulk items stocked up in mason jars. I love to keep these nice and full. So I think I'll start there. I keep on hand a supply of different types of flours, gluten-free flours, high-protein flours. So here we've got kamut flour, coconut flour. I've got some quinoa flour, chickpea flour, which I love using to make, pie crusts, things like that are more of a savory dish. And then moving on, I've got a lot of oats, my steel cut oats here, flaked oats for baking, rices, buckwheat. In our sweets jar right now we have some goji berries. My 2-year-old loves these, high in protein, lots of other nutrients in those. And then I've got all my beans and legumes and things like that. So we've got some mutton beans, lentils here. Two of my favorites, the ones I use mostly, are chickpeas and black beans. If you're not used to soaking your own beans and cooking them, I highly recommend you try this because they're much tastier that way, and then you're avoiding all the BPA in cans. Those are most of my bulk items there. If we kind of glance up here, as you can see, I have a little bit of a problem with kitchen appliances. Probably my most used appliances are that dehydrator up there. I have the old Ronco 5-trayer, and it works great. And another fun appliance I like is my food spiralizer here. I often will make zucchini noodles or sweet potato noodles in that. That's a really great product to have. And I've got my nutritional stuff here on the shelf, so different types of protein. This is one I've been on lately. It's a hemp and flax with maca powder in it. And then Vega, one of my favorite brands here. Spirulina powder, which I add to my shakes or veggie juices, and then cacao powder, maca powder, which is really great if you're under stress. It helps support your adrenal glands, and it has a nice caramelly flavor to it. Moving on, if you have a Costco near you, take a look for this brand. It's called True Roots, and this is one thing I've really come to love. It's a sprouted bean trio. It's got lentils in there, adzuki beans, mung beans. They cook up really quick. And then quinoa. This is what I've found to be the best deal on quinoa at Costco. It's 4 pounds of quinoa. It's already washed, so you don't need to rinse it before you cook it, which is really great. And I think it's about 10 bucks. That's also where I get my big bag of raw almonds that you see stored here, is at Costco. Okay, what other fun stuff do we have in here? So I've got my different oils, apple cider vinegar, which I mostly use in dressings because it is an alkaline forming vinegar, which is the rest of vinegars are all acidic. Maple syrup's my go-to sweetener for baking, or really sweetening anything in general, actually. Okay, and then I've got little treats here. Nutritional yeast. Some of you have asked me about nutritional yeast, and this is a great product for vegetarians because it's high in B12 and it has a real cheesy flavor to it, so I like to add it on toast, or I'll make cheese sauces out of it by mixing this with some soaked cashews and some lemon juice, and it's a really great product. You should check it out. All of my teas here, my absolute favorite company for tea is David's Tea, and my favorite tea right now is called Forever Nuts. and it seriously tastes like nuts. It's amazing. It's herbal, and it turns pink in your glass, which is kind of cool. Then they have some really great rooibos teas. Rooibos is my absolute favorite kind of tea if I'm not drinking an herbal tea because it's high in antioxidants. I did a YouTube video on rooibos tea last year, so check that out if you want to learn more about it. Tetley makes some brands. I just like to keep these on, or some kinds. I like to keep these on hand just for, quick grabs or whatever. But getting back to David's Tea, they have some really great rooibos teas. This one's called O Canada. It has maple in it, toffee, a little bit sweeter. And then Copacabana has a real banana flavor in it, obviously. Mint chocolate rooibos. This is one of my favorites too. I love this one. It has a real nice flavor to it. That's the great thing about David's Tea. All of their teas really hold up in flavor. 4 O'Clock is a great brand. They carry it at most grocery stores. I like this rooibos chai. It has a little bit of a black licorice taste to it. And then another product you may have heard of is called Teachino. This is their tea bag version of coffee, but they are an herbal coffee substitute. So it's mainly made with chicory root, and it's organic, and they have different flavors. There's chai flavor, and I really like these. They're a nice coffee alternative. Okay, moving on. Got some pasta down here. Not too much on hand right now, but I like to use kamut pasta. So you'll see it there. High in protein. This is another product they create at Costco by the True Roots brand, and it's an ancient grain based pasta, a spaghetti made with quinoa, amaranth, brown rice, all good stuff in there. And then I keep, a lot of containers of veggie broth on hand to make soups or to stir fry in, so I'm not using butter or oil or coconut oil. And then I've got different jars, seed butters in here. Sometimes I'll keep some beans on hand, although those aren't my preferred brand. The best brand of canned is Eden Organics, because they don't use any BPA in their tin linings. So yeah, I think that's about it for in here. So now we'll just move on to the fridge, and let me see if I can get kind of an open view here. The green monster has exploded in my fridge right now because I'm doing a lot of juicing and blending of greens. But I'll just kind of start from the top and move down. So in terms of milks, we keep almond breeze on hand. This is just what I use in my shakes. I do prefer to make my own almond milk. So right now I've got some almonds here that I had soaked last night, and I'm going to blend those up with some water to make my own. This brand is great if you want to have yogurt, but not without all that dairy. So this is So Delicious coconut milk based yogurt. And then breads, I use sprouted grain breads. So Ezekiel brand is a great brand. This is just some manna bread I've been using during a cleanse that I've been doing. And then we've got just lots of leftovers. One of my tips I always give to friends and clients is to always make more for dinner than you think you're going to need so that you have lunch the next day. So here we've got some wild rice and a little bit of tofu in there from last night's dinner. Here are some raw veggie pulp burgers that I made in the dehydrator last week, and they're really great for quick snacks. I know it doesn't look very appetizing, but they're actually really amazing. Some sprouts. I've got some detox salad back there, just basically cabbage, carrot, red onion with some quinoa thrown in. Always have cooked chickpeas on hand to throw into things, some hummus dips, various things in there. This I've been loving lately. It's a pate that I made up with pumpkin and hemp seeds, and I spread that on crackers or make a sandwich out of it. Earth Balance for our butter. That's a pretty common brand you can find in grocery stores. Tempeh. Some of you have asked me about tempeh before, so just turn this around. Tempeh is basically the fermented version of tofu, so it's much better on your system, and it has great flavor to it too. It's got good probiotics in it. This is a meatless bacon one that my husband likes, so he'll make up sandwiches with it. But you can actually buy tempeh in various forms. So I've got some in the freezer down here. I just keep a couple blocks on hand if you want to marinate it yourself. But that's a good one if you're in a pinch and you need something. On this shelf, I've got different greens that won't fit in my little bins here. So I've got some charred leaves here. Collard wraps to make sandwiches out of. Some romaine, some more romaine there for juicing. Got some mushrooms there, peppers in the back, and tomatoes. This is fun. So this is a cauliflower pizza crust that I made last night that we're going to have for dinner tonight. I'll try to post that recipe shortly. It's pretty cool, actually, that you don't need to use bread to make pizza crust. And then I've got just a leftover wrap here, and my favorite brand of wraps is, again, the Ezekiel brand, Sprouted Wraps. So you can find those in the freezer section of the health food aisle. And then I've got my greens bin. So I like to keep these really nice and stocked, just basic stuff, you know, celery, broccoli, beans, carrots. More in here, kale, cucumber, Brussels sprouts. The more you have on hand, the more you will use. So it's fun to come up with creative ways to use all that stuff. And then here's just some apples and pears that I've been using for juicing. I've got some things in here for Chloe, my little girl. She likes these fig bars made by Barbara's brand. And again, you can find these in the health food aisle. And then condiments. So always buy organic ketchup. If you can find it in a glass container, even better. One of my favorite brands of tamari. You can use in place of soy sauce in recipes. I use that to flavor a lot of dishes. Sunflower seed butter, again, one of my favorites. The only thing I don't like about this brand is it does contain cane juice, which is sugar. So we haven't been having that too much. Some more maple syrup in here. Tahini. So tahini is a great sticking product. It's made out of sesame seeds, so it's another nut butter option, but I like to use that to hold together my veggie burgers when I make them. And even some cookies, I'll use it to hold those together. And then down here, if we do buy pop, I get the Zevia brand, and it is sweetened with stevia, which is an all-natural sweetener. And then I've got my B12 down here. We keep that in the fridge. My DHA oil, which I add into my smoothies. Okay. Oh, I forgot the best part of my fridge. My favorite part is my shelf with all of my nuts and seeds. So nuts and seeds form the bulk of a vegetarian protein diet. I shouldn't say the bulk. It's not good to obviously have too much, but I tend to throw nuts and seeds in almost every dish I make, and I certainly don't have a body fat problem because of it. You know, again, it's something that your body uses and recognizes in terms of fat, so that's really important. So I've got all my favorites: pumpkin seeds, almonds, hemp seeds back there, walnuts, cashews, chia seeds. Again, my almonds that I soaked overnight last night, and that makes them more digestible in your system. Up here I've just got some probiotics that I give my daughter sometimes. I try to give it to her most days. Greens, Amazing Grass. I don't know if you've heard of this, but this is a great product to throw into your smoothies if you don't have the time to wash your spinach and kale and those kind of things that you want to throw in with your nut milk and protein powder. This is a great alternative. Here's the nutritionals on it. And it's filled with, it's got wheatgrass, barley grass, spirulina, spinach, chlorella. So great if you don't have the time to throw all those other things in. You'll see I've got some soy milk in here. We really don't use soy milk too often. Sometimes I'll just give it to my daughter because it is higher in protein than almond milk. Some organic apple juice for her. I've got a green juice that I blended up. I made up a big pitcher yesterday. This is blended greens as opposed to juiced greens. Juiced greens will not keep over time, whereas if you blend your greens, they will hold up a day or two in the fridge. Okay, so we'll close that up. I don't know if there's anything else I want to show you in the freezer. I mentioned the tempeh already. I've got frozen fruit in there. I always keep some bananas on hand, frozen bananas for my smoothies. In here is my favorite frozen bread. So I mentioned Ezekiel brand. This is another brand of sprouted grains, Silver Hills. And then I've just got some soups and things like that that I've kept in bulk there. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed the tour. And if you have any questions about any products that you've been looking to try and you're not sure where to find them, leave a message on the blog, okay? Have a great day.